Hey guys, I'm Leanne and this is Cobby. And for the past 6 years, I've been traveling Australia full time, living as minimally as possible and chasing freedom on the open road. From van builds to off-grid living to free camping, remote adventures and everyday life on the road, you'll find it all here. So, grab a coffee, jump in for the ride and welcome to Ozzy Van Life. But of course, I still can't sit still for too long. So between exploring some of the surrounding spots around the Pilbara and settling into life on the road with Cobby, there's always another little van project to tackle. So today I'm going to attempt to do something with that door and kind of frame the window a little bit just to make it look a little bit neater. I don't know how it's going to look, but I'm going to give it a go. At the end of the day, if it doesn't work out, I can just pull it apart and try again. So I've just cut this bit and I would be quite happy to just have like that, even though it isn't like in the shape of the window. Puppy thinks he's like missing out. Hang on. Come on then. And then the plan is to do another one on the top here and then just 2 bracket ones here. And I think that'll look actually pretty neat. I got the itchiest nose right now. But I think that looks quite nice. And once I stain it, it'll look cool. That's the plan. So just cut these 2. Does that look okay? So I've just cut the 2 panels. These have been the easiest thing I've ever worked with, these, because they're so soft. The wood is so soft. Pretty much. And then you can get like some edge capping thing that can go around and just neaten it all up. And hide my cutting mistakes, because I'm literally working with the jigsaw that I've built the whole van with, and it's on an angle now. I really need a new one, but I'm just trying to make do with what I've got.
Oh, solid. Oh, that is so solid. I've got some leftover grass tree resin, which I'm just going to stain the wood so it doesn't like look so out of place. Like, I probably don't even need to frame it, because by the time I put like the curtain up, it's pretty much going to be all the little bits that are not 100% perfect are pretty hidden. So I actually think it looks pretty cool, if I don't say so myself. Yes. If you hear that click, that's in my arm. I had a motorbike accident and a handlebar like hit me in this arm here, and ever since then it's clicked. I don't know why. That was in Bali actually. They said it wasn't broken, but I don't know. Somehow I think it was broken. Now I just have to find something to use as a curtain because I don't have anything, so I might compromise and think outside the box of what I can use for a curtain. So I've literally just cut a t-shirt up, and then the bottom seam is what I am like threading. The other thing I wanted to do for so long is to get the guitar out of the way. So I think I'm just gonna hang some of this bungee cord so I can just slip it in just to get it out of the way, because I'm literally moving it from my bed to the front seat, from the front seat to my bed, from my bed to here. Like, it needs a home, and I think under here is going to be the best option. Something like that. Sound effects. Cool. I ended up coming back to my daughter's place last night because I was out at Murray Pool and it was a Saturday night, and I didn't kind of think that a lot of people would turn up, but they did. So it's only like 30 minutes out of Karratha, and so I can understand why it gets really busy on the weekends because it's just so close to town. Anyway, I didn't really want to be awake all night listening to music or people partying, so I decided to come back to my daughter's place. I've decided to do a clean day, so I've put all of my washing on. Even Cobby, I've cleaned out all of his bedding, and I'm just defrosting my fridge because the freezer door actually fell off the other night because it was that full of ice. So it's got like an Anderson plug underneath the cupboard there, and so I just unhook it and I just pop everything into the Coles freezer bags, and what needs to be in the freezer I've popped under my bed in my freezer. And that normally takes a couple of hours for this to defrost. But once the freezer has defrosted, then I'll give it a good clean and then put everything back in order. And other than that, I'm going to have a bit of a chilled day today. So the other job that I want to get done is this little table. Now this has been great, but the only problem is when I have my laptop, I don't really have enough room to put my mouse on it as well. So what I'm going to do is get this spare bit of wood and literally just cut it a little bit longer so I've got enough to put the mouse on as well. Yeah. I'm going to sneeze. Excuse me. And it will still fit because the way that it folds into here is, and it will just sit out to here a little bit more, which is fine. So I'll cut that later today. Yeah?
You need to come to Woolworths for another?
No, I'm good. Just put the table on, and this has given me heaps more room for my mouse and everything on. So this was the length that I did before, so literally just added on that little bit there and that's it. And that's just made it so much more easier, and it still quite neatly goes into there if I leave it on while I'm driving, which normally I do take it off. So, but yeah, I think that's heaps and enough room. And the lagoon table, I have actually done videos on it before, and I think it is on my Amazon shop link, but it's just a knockoff one. It's not actually a real lagoon table. But it was so easy to install, and it literally just pulls all apart. So it was really good investment. I think it was under $100 anyway, so it was a good under $100. And look at the color that the resin actually makes. So the new table, I added a little bit of charcoal, whereas this one was like a clean resin, so it came up more pinky red, whereas this one's come up more brown. So when you like look at it against the pine, like it actually stains it like really, really well. If you're actually interested in trying to do some of the grass tree stain, then I do have some shorts and a video on how I did all that a while back. Not far from Roebourne, on the way out to Point Sampson, sits the old historic ghost town of Cossack. And honestly, it's one of those places that instantly takes you back in time. Originally established back in 1863, Cossack became one of the very first ports in the Pilbara and was once the centre of West Australians' pearling industry.
Before Broome became famous for pearlers, this harsh little coastal town was where it all began. Back in its peak, Cossack was a busy settlement filled with pearlers, pastoral workers, gold prospectors and traders from all over the world. Japanese divers, Malays, Chinese, Europeans and indigenous communities all played a part in the history of the town, creating a place that was both isolated and incredibly diverse for its time. But life here was far from easy. The pearling industry was extremely dangerous and many people lost their lives working the waters of the Pilbara coast. Cyclones, harsh conditions and accidents at sea were common and many divers never made it home. Just come out for a bit of a look at the little town called Cossack, and it's about, 40 minutes out of Karratha and not that far from Roebourne, probably about 15 minutes from Roebourne. But pretty much all of the buildings are still here. No one really lives here anymore, except there is a B&B that's still operating here. But the buildings have actually, the stone buildings are absolutely beautiful. Like the general store, that's the general store. And this is the old courthouse. And then just down there, there is the B&B. Over time, the harbour began to silt up. The pearling industry moved north to Broome, and by the early 1900s, the town slowly began to fade away. The old Japanese cemetery still stands as a reminder of those who died during the pearling years, with records showing at least 41 Europeans, 7 Japanese buried there, along with many others believed to have been lost at sea. Even though it's now considered a ghost town, there's something really peaceful about this place. Between the red dirt hills, the old stone buildings, and the ocean nearby, you can always imagine what life must have been like here over 100 years ago. Thanks for coming along for the adventure, and a huge thank you to everyone who supports the channel through Buy Me a Coffee, Super Thanks, and all your ongoing support. From me and Cobby, we'll see you next time on Ozzy Van Life. It's so windy, isn't it?